How long? Let me answer that in just a second since we're on air. Okay. But I'm thinking. All right, this is a special Salina City Commission meeting. Would ask the city clerk if the Kansas Open Meeting Act required notice has been properly provided.
Yes.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mayor Davis,
Here.
Commissioner Hoppick,
Here.
Commissioner Linkowitz, Commissioner Longbine,
Here.
Commissioner Ryan.
Right, so as I understand it, Commissioner Linkowitz will be joining us electronically soon. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. This is a meeting. I kept thinking I heard myself. We're just going to turn the volume down in the other room. This is a meeting of a singular purpose, and it will start with an executive session. I'll just ask the city manager if it's, I'm sorry, the city attorney, if it's more appropriate to break this into two segments, or we can just do one segment with you and Human Resources Director in for the first 10 minutes and then invite the city manager in, or is it more appropriate to do two separate ones?
Were you concerned from the standpoint of the subject matter or the basis for the executive sessions?
Probably a little bit of both.
Okay. I'll address quickly I think you are, in this context, strictly under the discussions of personnel matters, justification for the executive session. Even though I would be involved in the discussion, it is not for the purpose of imparting legal advice, but simply to assist in the documentation of whatever your ultimate desires are this morning in terms of any action to be taken. So we are best served, I think, by simply being under the personnel exception throughout whatever segments of executive session you might wish to conduct.
Right. So then it would be appropriate for the first 10 minutes of the session to have you and I don't know if the Human Resources Director is she coming back down?
Yes, she is.
Okay.
She was.
For the two of you, and then have you two leave and then invite the city manager in the same executive session?
That would certainly be appropriate, and that can be handled entirely at your prerogative once you're in your session.
All right. I would say in that case 25 minutes for the total.
Mayor Davis, before we go into executive session, I think it'd be prudent to say why we're doing this special meeting. Before the holidays, we had discussed the city manager's performance and had done some things, but because of the city manager being out ill, we were not able to continue the process that we're going to do today. So that's the reason for today's meeting, is we were not able to do this several weeks ago because of Mr. Scragg being out ill. So I think that's important that the community knows that this would have usually been done a couple weeks ago after we'd gone into executive session to discuss.
I appreciate that clarification there. Some things that an outgoing mayor, an incoming mayor wishes that an outgoing mayor finished before his term or her term started, and this is one of those administrative issues. But thank you for that addition. Right, we are ready.
Just for the audience, Commissioner Ryan has zoomed in, and Commissioner Linkowitz is working on it, so we should have him here in a minute.
Good morning. All right.
Do we want to wait a few to see if they get hooked, dialed in?
I can shoot them into the room when they come
come in. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and get started, because we
Okay.
definitely do have a quorum, yeah.
Mayor, I move the city commission recess into executive session for 25 minutes to discuss the city manager's evaluation based upon the need to discuss personal matters of non-elected personnel pursuant to KSA 75-4319B1. The open meeting will resume in this room at 8:35.
And-
Second?
And if I could just add to that motion that the city attorney and Director of Human Resources will be in attendance during the first part of the meeting, and the city manager in the second part of that session. That's okay.
We'll second that.
All right. It's been moved and seconded to recess into executive session to discuss personnel matters as described. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. So that's 4-0. We are in executive session. Thank you. All right, we are back on air. I'm going to wait till we get our other two commissioners connected here.
And Mr. Linkowitz, Commissioner Linkowitz is on the phone. We had some technical difficulties, so that's part of the delay.
I really had this timed out to the minute, but such is life. Okay, Commissioner Ryan is connected via Zoom now, so we're back in regular session. Because of some technical difficulties and just a need to discuss things, we are 2/3 of the way through. So we're going to need to recess back into executive session again. I would say, I was going to say 10 minutes first. I'll leave it up to other commissioners. You think 10 is enough?
I'd
or
say
15?
if we're going to bring city
City
manager,
manager.
I'd say 15.
15 minutes.
15.
15, yes. All right, and just have one of my colleagues to, 37, so 52. Okay.
Mayor, I move the city commission recess into executive session for 15 minutes to discuss the city manager's evaluation upon the need to discuss personal matters of non-elected personnel pursuant to KSA 75-4319B1. The open meeting will resume in this room at 8:53.
The second?
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to recess into executive session for 15 minutes to discuss personnel matters. The city manager will be in attendance in this meeting. All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, it's 5-0. We'll be back in 15 minutes. Commissioner Ryan is back. Commissioner Linkowitz is on a makeshift telephone connection. We are back in regular session. We've been meeting to discuss the city manager's annual review, and certainly in summary, I can say that the city commission has been very pleased with his performance over the past year. It's not a easy job, and the public sees only 3 hours worth on Mondays, not the other 100 hours a week that he's putting into the job, and the 10,000 phone calls and emails that he doesn't share, just because that would take all the meeting time. In addition to, well, there is an echo there. Okay. Yeah, thank you. In addition to evaluating his progress, we do have suggestions and goals for the following year, much like you would do with any employee, and those have been shared with the city manager. his compensation evaluation is not much different from any of our other city employees. He is eligible for a merit increase like other employees and eligible for a cost of living increase like all of our employees. We have decided to give him a 3% merit increase, which would date back to his anniversary date of December 16th. And that would increase his adjusted annual base salary as of December 16th to $188,755.30. He would then, as of January 2nd, be eligible for the 3% cost of living increase, which would increase the adjusted base salary to $194,438.56. Excuse me. In addition, his contribution to, or our contribution to his retirement account would be increased from 5% to 6%. The financial organization that handles those accounts has changed from ICMA to Mission Square Retirement. I don't know if it's a company change or a name change, but
Yeah, I think it's mostly a name.
name change. All right. The commission, in short, is glad that we have someone of Mike's caliber at the helm of the ship, and felt it was most appropriate to reward him in like fashion. So if there are no changes to what I said or additions, I'd entertain a motion to make this official.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve resolution number 238104, a resolution concluding the 2022 evaluation of the city manager's performance, modifying the city manager's base salary, and amending of the city manager's contract of employment with the city.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 23-8104. And just for explanation, the amendment of the manager's contract regards the increase in the percentage contribution to his retirement account. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay.
Yep.
That is approved, 5-0. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Take any public comment, please?
We had decided that this,
Is there a reason why you did not add resolution, whatever number, to the agenda and then vote on it?
no, that would be actually an oversight on my part. Ask the city attorney the best way to resolve that.
Thank you, Mayor, and I would say that's more of an oversight on my part in not suggesting that approach as you transition from the executive session, so my apologies for that. I would think that, as you know, your rules allow you to so indicate on. It's kind of a close call. Your agenda refers to the potential for you to take action, but if there's a concern, I would say simply entertain a motion to add the resolution to your agenda, act on that, and then follow with the action on the resolution.
Thank you. I'll take that second approach. Entertain a motion to add resolution number 23-8104 to today's agenda.
So moved. So moved.
Second.
All right. Any discussion on that issue? Any public comment on that issue?
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. John Blanchard, Salina, Kansas. Sometimes inviting public comment is helpful, so I thank you for allowing this. Along with, and I might just add that there was an item on the executive session that said action might be taken, but there were a lot of people in this community who are going like, why are they calling an 8 o'clock special meeting? What's it all about? Well, that's why first of all, you don't have items like the city manager's evaluation come up on a surprise meeting and let the community know about it 2 days in advance. That's just poor governing. This isn't a comment on the city manager. The city manager has to deal with a lot of issues that come from this board really not governing very well. And this is a perfect example. Transparency? Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. So I would suggest that, as you did last year, and maybe I don't want to beat on you guys too bad. Maybe I'll compliment former Mayor Hodges. But last year at the beginning of December, before he even started the whole process behind closed doors, you had an open meeting out here telling the public and each other what you were going to evaluate the city manager on. So what you did is you got a 1% increase in retirement funding to 6%. You've got a 3% COLA. You got a 3% annual raise. What is the average Salina city employee raise this year? They all got 3. Did they all get the other 3? How does it stack up? There's no packet, so nobody can look and see what you guys were even reviewing or anything on this deal. And I just think it's really, I think it puts Mike in a bad position. It's like going, because now everyone's going like, why is he getting that? It's like, because you guys didn't explain to the public why you're giving him that. It's just vague platitudes about, oh, he did a great job, he works 25 hours extra overtime every week. I mean, well, great. Put that in and let the public know that. But I'm just disappointed that you do this, you rush this in on a Friday morning at 8 o'clock, and I'd just like you guys to be a little more respectful for the voting taxpayers, the voters, the taxpayers, and the citizens. We deserve a lot better. And thank you, Mike, for your year of service. And we disagreed on a few things, but I wish you good luck in the coming year, and also our new chief. Thanks.
And you may have missed Commissioner Hoppick's explanation of why this meeting was called, which he gave before we went into executive session. This is an action which would normally have occurred in December, but because of reasons and time constraints beyond our control, just did not happen, could not happen easily in December. The city manager's personnel record is private. It's personnel file, just like any other employees, and we don't discuss those in public. That's the reason they're done in executive session. The evaluation of the city manager is left to the city commission. That's not voted on by the city at large. That's one of the duties that's entrusted to the city commission when commissioners are elected. The 5 of us work with him the closest as far as citizenry is concerned, so it's reasonable to expect that we would be able to point out things that he's doing well, things that we want improvement in, just like anyone else's personnel file. That's discussed with him, and that's where it stays. Obviously, if there were criminal allegations, morality issues, those type of things, those would be public and be a whole totally different discussion, but that's not the case here. So I think the action we took and the way in which we took it was quite appropriate. This is usually something that is more formality as far as the public is concerned. You're free to discuss your displeasure with it, but it's a decision among the sitting commissioners. Any other public comment? Okay, there's a motion on the floor to add resolution number 23-8104 to today's agenda. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries 5-0. Now, is there action to be taken on resolution 23-8104? Just need a motion to approve.
Go ahead if you want to do it again.
I move we adjourn.
Well, no, we have, is there any action to be taken on resolution 23-8104? We've now officially put it back, or put it on the agenda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I mixed up my papers.
I can do it. Mayor Davis, I move we approve resolution number 23-8104, concluding the 2022 evaluation of the city manager's performance, modifying the city manager's base salary, and amending of the city manager's contract of employment with the city.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 23-8104. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries 5-0.
Before you adjourn, if I could, like the timing worked out, I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce C.J. Weiss as new chief of police. So by way of the press release and the information I shared with you, comments that I made to the department when we introduced him yesterday, CJ has a number of years of experience in law enforcement, as well as a breadth of experience in law enforcement. Has been with the Edmond, Oklahoma department since 1998 and is a major with them. I won't rattle off all the different things that he's been exposed to in law enforcement, but it was very encouraging to see that breadth of experience, supervisory skills, and recognition for his excellent supervision. And then additionally, some involvement with DEA and other agencies. We also did an extensive background check, sending an individual to the community, viewing his personnel file, speaking to people beyond just his references, and very consistently found a management style and an experience and an approach that was what we were looking for, was a good fit for just our general expectations, as well as the feedback we got from a survey that we conducted within the department. So very excited to get him on board. He's house hunting at the moment, so we wish him luck in that regard. First day is the end of the month, so essentially February he'll hit the ground running. If it's okay, I would like to give him an opportunity just to address you a little bit.
I'm not sure where the cameras are. There may be people who are only seeing the back of your head, so please come up to the podium. So that,
Like I mentioned yesterday, I am super humbled and honored to be here. And I'd mentioned, and I've said this story numerous times, that my trip here started here in '94. So I came here on a recruiting trip for football. And so I went to Kansas Wesleyan, and they put me in contact with their head departments. At the time, I wanted to be in athletic training. And so their head was very honest with me. He said, "Are you super strong in science?" I was like, "Well, I'm okay." He goes, "Go find a different line of work." And so, as I was a little crushed, I was also impressed with the town. And so I changed my career path, and law enforcement's where I chose based on coming here. And so when this position came open, I felt like I had some familiarity with it. And so I dug in more to the department as I told them, I was Facebook stalking them for a long time, just kind of checking out what they're doing. And it fit with kind of my beliefs and the way I feel like we need to police and make partnerships with the community. So I'm very honored to be here.
well, thank you, and we'll try not to put you to work till February the 1st. But feel free to walk around and get even more familiar with.
I will. Thank you very much. Everybody's been super welcoming, and I appreciate that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Do
Appreciate
you
it.
have any regrets that football career didn't work out?
The way I tell everybody, and my kids always ask me, "Was you good?" I said, I was one of the best players on a really bad team. And so I probably wasn't all as good as I thought I was, because at the time I thought I'd be on the Dallas Cowboys, at some point in time. It didn't work out.
All righty.
CJ, Wesleyan probably has some volunteer opportunities for you.
I need to track down whoever that advisor was, and I need to thank him for being so blunt with me.
All right. Well, I'm sure they will be inviting you to come back and speak and get interact.
I'd be glad to.
Be involved. Well, welcome to Salina.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the introduction. All right. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
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 We are adjourned.